Suicide is one of the leading causes of death globally, and the prevalence amongst men is considerably higher than for women. South Africa's ranked number 10 on the list of countries with the most suicides. Of the 13,774 suicides reported in South Africa, 10,861 were men, whilst 2,913 were women. Men are 5 times more likely to die by suicide than women and often use more aggressive methods. Although surveys reveal that women are diagnosed more than men with mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety, men don't speak about their feelings until it's too late. Instead, they underplay the distress caused by these symptoms by drowning their depression and anxiety with poor coping behaviors such as alcohol abuse and aggression. This can lead to an increased possibility of having their depression go unrecognized and untreated. The risk factors for suicide can include unemployment, divorce or adverse childhood experiences, or that the symptoms of depression and anxiety are not in keeping with the perception men have of masculinity.
My name is Sabelo. I suffered from depression, but now I have changed my game. When you have depression, you'll feel lonely, you'll feel sad, you'll feel helpless, you'll always isolate yourself, you'll always make yourself like you are happy even though you are not. It feels like you're in a dark hole. There are those voices which always come by your ears telling you that you're nothing, you'll never survive from this problem. Living a life with the rejection of my father, it was very hard for me, whereby as a kid, there were a lot of things that I needed. So my mother couldn't provide for us because she was earning less income and we were a lot at home. It was very hard when my father left me because I didn't know what is the reason. But as a young boy, it was so hard. It was painful inside because my father wanted nothing to do with me. So what I needed to do is to carry on with my life with my mom, but it was very hard at the moment, which left me with hatred inside, which has left me helpless because I went to family to gather to tell them about what I am feeling inside. How did my father did this to me? Because it was very painful, but I had no one to talk to. I needed to tell my mom about the problem, but my mom, she wouldn't listen to me, so I felt helpless. The pain that I felt inside was anger and hatred. Sadness, depression was there, whereby it led me want to attempt to commit suicide. It was very hard because I had no one to speak to except my family and my mom. I was also isolated even at school. I couldn't even speak to my friends about my problem that I am having. So what I did right now, I told my family about my story, but they didn't. My mother was very angry when I speak about it. She didn't want me to speak about it. So each and every day when I woke up, it always eats me. It always punched me to a dark hole. It always punched me to down. So whereby I saw that no, I need to fight this, but I do not know where should I get help. It feels helpless because no one will help you. No one is with you, no one could feel your pain. One day when I asked my mother about my father, why did he rejected me? Then she just got angry and jumped out and shouted at me, which I didn't care. At that night, she said to me, you're not going to eat today, you'll sleep with hunger, which I didn't have a problem. I slept without eating that day. By tomorrow, I was just going to my aunt to tell her about my problem, but nobody believed in me because my father at home she will act very angry, but when he is with my family, he will act nice, like he is nice to us, but while he is not. So one day I was passing by a street when the only PTUs evangelism there. Then one of the PTUs came to me and said, I invite you to come to the church, which was on Saturday, and said, I invite you to come to the church on Sunday. Then I'll be like, yes, I'll come. But then he said, come and receive the prayer. I'll be like, no, I don't need a prayer. I don't need a prayer at all. Then he'll be like, okay, yes, outside I was looking fine, but inside I was not fine at all. While I was going, one assistant, the teacher of the PTU, stand onto my way and just say, wait, are you good? And be like, yeah, I'm good. He just looked at me straight into my eyes and said, are you good? Are you sure? Then I'll be like, yeah, I'm good. Then I went home. While I went home, then I just put the paper there and then I threw it away. I don't need to read it at all. Then one day this voice came. Then I'm like, no, I lived a suffering life each and every day, those voices. So I don't know what do I live for here on earth. Then which I wrote, I took a pen and a paper. I wrote a letter for my mom telling how much I love her and be grateful for the things she has done for me. Then I went by a drawer. I hold a drawer. I grabbed a knife there. I went straight to my room. While I was trying to stab myself, when the knife just came, then the knife just fell down. I was asking myself, what's happening? Then I went down to pick the knife. That's where I saw a newspaper. Then I was like, let me give myself time to read a newspaper. When I opened the newspaper, I saw testimonies, people who were having the same problem that I have, but they are free right now. Then I said, no, I need to find a church as soon as possible. Then I just stand up from there. Then, which I waited for the day of tomorrow, there was a lady, she was going there. She's my classmate. She was going there to the church. Then I'll be like, I just came to her that, do you know where's the Universal Church? I said, yes, I'm from there. Do you remember we invited you? I said, can I go with you? Then she said, yes, you can come. Then my first day on the Universal Church was on Sunday on the PTU meeting. Then I entered through a meeting. I saw young teenagers who were at my age bonding together. I didn't change immediately, but immediately when I entered from the gate, I just felt happy because I was like, yeah, now I'm at home right now. What message I received from the church is that you need to forgive others in order to live a peaceful life. No matter what bad thing they did to you, you need to forgive them. Because as the Bible states that Lord will forgive you as you forgive the others. So I needed to forgive for my father what he did for me. I needed to give each and every time. My pastor used to guide me that when you are at the service, give your heart there, give it all. Your concentration must be there so that you may come out be free. You may come out having the word. I used my faith to forgive my father, but it wasn't easy. Whereby I just prayed one day that, God, please help me. Help me. Then I prayed that, Lord, I forgive him. No matter how bad he did, no matter what a mistake he did, but I forgive him. Which I went to him and told him that, Father, I forgive you for what you did for me. And praise God, my father, he came back into my life again. He's taking care of me, and now we are happy in a family. The feelings of anger and depression, they went away. In a sense, like, I don't know what happened, but they went away, all of them. They went away.
I was so depressed. I had suicidal thoughts, and I thought of taking my life many times. My name is Joseph. I suffered from depression, but now I have changed my game. Depression feels like you can't take proper decision. It's like you see like there is no hope for you, and it is even difficult to look for help because you'll think like they will laugh at you. you will always look for something that you can do that will maybe make you feel better. When I was about 13, between 13 and 14, when my parents, they separated. And then it's where life became difficult. It's like I was introduced to a new lifestyle, because at the moment my mother was not working. We were depending, she was depending on the piece jobs, and she was not earning enough. And also my two siblings as well. Like life, when I look, it was very hard for us. We will sometimes go to school hungry. We will sometimes go to school barefooted. It will be winter, we wouldn't have jerseys, and most of the time we wouldn't even have the proper uniform, let alone the books. I remember it's when I started to be short-tempered, and most of the time I would wish if I was not born, and most of the time suicidal thoughts will attack me. I remember in some instance as well, my younger sister was admitted at the hospital. It was 3 times. Twice she drank paraffin, and on the 3rd time she took tablets. And then my younger brother, as time goes by as well, he was introduced to smoking. I think it's nyaupe. It was so difficult because I was an elder brother. I didn't realize that I was depressed, because I will feel like for me to live, it was useless, hopeless, because I didn't have any hope. The only thing that I would desire was to take my life. I wouldn't find a reason. There was nothing, if I can say, that was motivating me to live. Most of the time I was thinking about like hanging myself, but I couldn't find like something strong that I can be able to use, even where maybe I can do that. I can hang myself. That was the only thing that made me not to. I was completely alone. Like most of the time when I was at home, like I would like act strong, like everything is okay, but most of the time when I'm alone, it's when trouble begins. Like feeling like I'm nothing, I'm useless, like I can take my life. It was very difficult at home. My mom, she will cry every day, because when she look at what's happening, she didn't even know what to do, and crying, I think that was the only thing that she was doing. I was very angry at my father, because as we were growing up, I had a dream that one day I want to be a doctor, and he was there saying, you know what, I will make sure that I save money so that I can be able to take you to school. And when that thing happens, when my parents, they separated, it says to me that my father doesn't care about me, doesn't care about my dreams. So it's like I'm nothing to him. And that thing is that one that made me to be much more angry at him. My father didn't visit us. He didn't help us financially or anything. It's like he didn't care about us. At my lowest point, it's when I was so depressed and I wanted to escape, because I no longer wanted to live the life that I'm living. Always angry, bitter. So I wanted to escape that kind of a lifestyle. And then it's when I met an assistant that was living in our area. She's the one that invited me to come to the church. And when I arrived at the church, then I was introduced to the chain of prayers, and then I participated, and then I was taught how to be free, how to use my faith. And then the more I made a chain of prayers, then it helped me to open up and to approach the pastor. And then it's when I receive a help. I didn't know the reason why I didn't want to talk to anybody about my state of depression. And at the moment, I didn't even know that I was depressed. How I found out about that I was depressed is when I went for a counseling, when I spoke with the pastor. And then is when I was advised that I have to make more chain of prayers. More especially, I have to be like, I mustn't miss Wednesday, and I mustn't miss Friday as well, and even Sunday. My life started to change when I commit myself. When I commit myself to God, and is when I started to see the result. It started when I repent, when I start to live a new life. I use my faith to change my life. The chain of prayers were introduced, and then I participated, and we read the Bible, and then by going to the church as well on Wednesday and Sundays. By what I learned from the church, I was able to use it to help my younger brother and my younger sister. Yes. And today my younger brother has got his own company, construction company, of which he's working at the moment. And my younger sister as well, she's opened a non-profit organization where she's helping the disabled and the old grannies. My wife, I met her in the church, and I can say we dated for, 2 years? Then after 2 years, it's when we get married. I no longer have the feeling of maybe taking my life, suicidal thought. I'm no longer sad. I'm no longer short-tempered. I'm no longer feeling like, I'm useless. Yeah, so I'm a different person today. I'm happy. Yes, I'm very happy.